Tom Cruise is 63 years old, yet he runs, jumps, and fights on screen like someone half his age. While most actors slow down with time, he keeps raising the bar, performing stunts that would scare even trained athletes. The secret isn't just in his workouts. It's in what he eats, how he trains, and the rules he lives by. Today we'll explore the foods and habits behind his ageless body. Tom Cruise was born on July 3, 1962, in Syracuse, New York. His early years were far from easy. He moved from school to school, struggled with dyslexia, and grew up in a challenging household. But everything changed the moment he stepped on stage. Acting gave him an escape, a passion, and soon, a purpose. From a small role in Endless Love to his breakout as Maverick in Top Gun, Cruise quickly rose from an unknown teenager to a global star. What makes his story even more remarkable is that decades later, he hasn't slowed down. Most actors use stunt doubles with age, but Cruise refuses. From sprinting across rooftops to clinging to airplanes, he does the dangerous work himself, repeating stunts until the shot is perfect. At 63, he's still as fast and fearless as ever. The secret lies not only in his training, but in the food and habits that fuel his body. Let's start with the 5 foods Tom Cruise eats to keep his body in peak condition. The first food on his list is slow-cooked protein. Instead of heavy steaks cooked on high flames, he chooses wild salmon, skinless chicken, and sometimes lean bison. These proteins are cooked slowly, often at lower temperatures, which helps preserve nutrients while avoiding harmful compounds created by high-heat cooking. The portions are also small, about the size of his palm, making the meals light yet packed with strength. For Cruise, staying lean and quick is more important than adding bulk. The second food is antioxidant-packed berries. Blueberries are his favorite, and he keeps them close whether he's at home or on set. Crew members even joke that he always has a handful hidden in his pockets. These berries help fight the stress his body endures from long shooting days and physically demanding stunts. Their deep color comes from powerful antioxidants that protect his muscles and keep his energy steady. Third, Cruise is never without his power greens. Spinach, broccoli, and rocket are staples in his diet. He brings them everywhere, even onto film sets or inside helicopters during shoots. These greens are rich in natural nitrates, which improve blood flow and oxygen delivery, an essential boost when he's running in back-to-back action scenes or staying calm during high adrenaline stunts. Fourth, he relies on nuts. Almonds, walnuts, and Brazil nuts are his go-to snacks between scenes. They're loaded with healthy fats and minerals that keep his energy levels smooth and his mind sharp. When you're shooting action sequences for hours on end, you can't afford energy crashes, and nuts are the perfect way to stay steady. And fifth, Tom Cruise enjoys roasted vegetable blends. Tomatoes, peppers, ginger, and beets are often roasted at low heat and served as a side or topping for his proteins. This method keeps the vegetables rich in vitamins and flavor without creating the harmful compounds that come with frying or grilling at high heat. It's a colorful, nutrient-dense way to fuel his long days. These 5 foods aren't just about looking fit. They're about giving his body the tools it needs to recover, adapt, and keep performing at the highest level. But just as important as what Cruise eats is what he avoids, and that's where his discipline really shines. Just as Tom Cruise is disciplined about what he eats, he's equally strict about what he avoids. These choices are just as important to his longevity and sharpness on screen. The first item on his no-go list is white bread and pasta. These refined carbs break down too quickly, causing energy spikes followed by crashes. For someone who needs split-second focus during stunts, that dip in energy is unacceptable. Instead, Cruise uses vegetables as his main source of carbohydrates. They digest slowly, keep blood sugar balanced, and provide lasting fuel without the brain fog or sluggishness caused by refined grains. The second food he avoids is fried and heavily processed meals. Cruise knows that fried foods might taste tempting, but the heavy oils and salt only weigh the body down. On camera, processed foods can also create puffiness or swelling that shows up instantly under bright lights. Crew members say that if fried food appears on set, Cruise simply passes on it and waits for a cleaner option like steamed fish or grilled vegetables. His discipline is what keeps him sharp day after day, even during the toughest filming schedules. The third big restriction is refined sugar. Candy bars, soda, and sugary desserts don't make it onto his plate. Sugar gives a quick burst of energy but is followed by a crash that slows reaction times and makes focus difficult. Instead, Cruz replaces sweets with healthier alternatives, like antioxidant-rich berries or a small piece of dark chocolate. For a man who often puts his life on the line for a stunt, maintaining consistency is far more valuable than chasing sugar highs. This careful balance of eating the right foods and avoiding the wrong ones is the foundation of his longevity. But food is only one piece of the puzzle. What truly sets Cruz apart is the way he starts each day. His morning ritual is designed not just to wake him up, but to prepare his body and mind for the intense demands ahead. It all begins at 5:30 a.m., when his wristwatch gives off a gentle vibration. Instead of rushing out of bed, Cruz spends a full minute in silence, focusing on gratitude. He reflects on his breath, his family, and the chance to tackle another day. This simple practice grounds him before the chaos begins. At 5:35 a.m., he steps onto the treadmill, but he doesn't sprint. Instead, he walks for about 5 minutes, letting his body warm up slowly while listening to a recorded rundown of the day's stunt schedule. This helps him align his mind with the tasks ahead, keeping him focused rather than distracted. By 5:50 a.m., it's time for mobility work. Hip openers, shoulder rolls, and spinal stretches loosen his body. He finishes with deep belly breathing, which calms the nervous system and sets the tone for the day. For Cruz, being relaxed and in control is just as important as being strong. At 6 a.m., strength training begins. He doesn't lift for size or bulk. Instead, his circuits focus on precision and control. Weights are moderate, movements are sharp, and rest times are short. This style of training keeps him agile, quick, and ready for the split-second decisions required on set. By 6:50 a.m., he shocks his system awake with cold water. Submerging his face in icy water tightens blood vessels, sharpens his senses, and erases any leftover drowsiness. It's a small but powerful ritual that resets his body for the day. At 7 a.m., he finally eats his first meal. But it's not a heavy breakfast. He sticks to something light yet nutrient-packed: 2 spinach-wrapped egg whites and a handful of almonds. This meal comes in under 100 calories but provides protein and steady energy. He repeats this grazing style throughout the day, eating small, frequent meals rather than large plates that slow him down. Evenings wrap up with discipline too. Unless a late-night stunt requires fuel, Cruz stops eating around 8 p.m. This creates an overnight fast of about 11 hours, giving his body time to recover, balance hormones, and stay lean. When you look at this ritual, it's clear that Cruz doesn't just train his body. He trains his entire lifestyle. Every choice, from gratitude in the morning to cutting off meals at night, is about staying sharp, steady, and ready for whatever challenge comes his way. Even with all the planning, Tom Cruise knows that balance is the real secret. His weekly routine isn't just about heavy lifting or explosive sprints. It also includes recovery days, family time, and lighter activities like swimming, cycling, or a steady bike ride that keeps his body refreshed without wearing it down. That balance between intensity and recovery is what allows him to keep performing at such a high level, year after year. For anyone over 50, Cruz's lifestyle is proof that strength, energy, and sharpness don't have to fade with age. By eating clean foods, moving with purpose, and staying consistent, you can keep your body prepared for whatever life throws your way. It's not about chasing perfection, but about building routines that support long-term health and confidence. Tom Cruise shows us that discipline, not age, defines what's possible. He has proven that when you fuel your body correctly and treat recovery as seriously as training, you can push limits that others think are impossible. Age is only a number when healthy habits become a way of life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss more stories on health, fitness, and longevity. Your best years can still be ahead.